My beloved child, tonight the universe bends toward you in a way it never has before, because someone who once laughed at your silence is now trembling at the sound of your name. They thought you were too soft, too quiet, too gentle to rise, but they never understood that storms do not announce themselves before they break. And now, as your energy shifts, they feel it like a shadow crawling across their certainty, a reminder that underestimating you was the biggest mistake they ever made. The truth begins here, where their confidence ends, and every second ahead pulls you closer to a revelation they hoped would never reach you. But listen closely, because something even they don't know is about to unfold. A force inside you has awakened, not loudly, not dramatically, but in a slow, unstoppable way that unsettles every person who once thought you couldn't change your destiny. They see your glow, subtle yet powerful. And it shakes them because it exposes the lie they built about you. They believed you were predictable, easy to control, easy to dismiss. Yet now, when they look at you, they feel like they are staring at a stranger with a power they can't decode. And that fear grows each time your name is whispered in rooms you've never walked into, rooms where your presence is felt even before your arrival. What shocks them most is not what you've achieved but what your silence is hiding. You have not shown the full magnitude of your growth, and that terrifies them more than any confrontation ever could. They scroll through your updates, replay your actions in their minds, searching for clues to understand how you changed so fast, how you broke limits they set for you, how your light kept growing even in places they tried to dim. And now, every shift in your aura sends them into panic, because your rise reminds them of how wrong they were. Wrong about your strength, wrong about your destiny, wrong about the power you were born with. But here is the part that tightens their fear like a knot: someone close to them has started speaking in your favor. Someone they considered loyal has begun to admit that your transformation is real, undeniable, unstoppable. This betrayal shakes them because it proves what they feared the most, that your energy is not only rising but influencing people they never expected. They hear whispers like, "That person is different now, something big is coming, don't mess with them anymore." These whispers travel back to them like warnings from a world they no longer control. And in those moments, they finally understand that you are no longer the version of yourself they thought they could overpower. Yet the real shock, the one that will haunt them for a long time, is hidden in the truth that is approaching them like a slow, inevitable wave. Because what they don't know, what no one around them knows, is that your breakthrough is already in motion. Behind the scenes, opportunities, revelations, and unexpected alliances are forming around you like a shield of destiny. Every step you take now creates a ripple that reaches farther than you can see. And the person who underestimated you? They feel that ripple as a threat, a countdown, a warning that the moment they feared is near. The moment where your story rises above theirs, where your strength eclipses their doubt, and where your truth finally confronts their assumptions. My beloved child, the moment your energy shifted, something unbelievable started happening behind the scenes, something so powerful that the very person who underestimated you can no longer sleep peacefully at night. They pretend everything is normal, but deep inside, they feel a tightening fear every time they hear your name. They don't know why, but your silence has become louder than your words ever were. And that silence carries a message they can't ignore anymore: you are rising faster than they expected, and nothing can stop it now. Their own intuition keeps warning them, whispering that your transformation is not surface level, it is destiny level, and it is shaking everything they once believed about you. What they never anticipated is how many people are now watching you closely, unsure how you evolved so quickly yet drawn to your presence like a force of gravity. Even strangers feel the shift. People who barely knew your story are suddenly speaking about your strength, your resilience, your unexpected comeback. Every step you take sends waves into places you haven't even touched yet. And while the world becomes curious, the one who underestimated you becomes terrified. Their confidence is cracking, their ego is shrinking, and their fear is growing because they realize something they never wanted to admit: you were never the weak one. They simply didn't have the vision to see the power you were becoming. And now, the tension around them is becoming impossible to hide. They're nervous, jumpy, constantly checking things that have nothing to do with them: your profile, your progress, your connections. They scroll through your pictures not with confidence, but with a fear that you have stepped into an entirely new chapter they can no longer predict. Their friends have noticed it too. Someone recently told them, "You should have treated that person better. They're not the same anymore." That sentence hit them like a thunderbolt. Because deep inside, they know it's true. Your growth isn't an act. It's not temporary. It's not a phase. It's a powerful reality that is now outgrowing every assumption they made about you. But here is the twist that tightens their fear even more: the universe has placed you on a timeline they can't interfere with anymore. You've entered a stage where blessings, breakthroughs, and unexpected support are aligning in ways that make your future glow brighter with every passing hour. The things they thought would slow you down have instead pushed you forward. The people they hoped would ignore you are now drawn to you. And opportunities that once felt out of reach are now moving toward you as if your name was written on them from the beginning. They underestimated the fire inside you. Now they're terrified to face the flame. And as your rise continues, a deeper truth is becoming clear: they are not scared of your success, they are scared of being exposed as the person who tried to break someone destined to rise. They know people are watching now. They know eyes are turning, conversations are shifting, and the narrative is changing. And the fear consuming them is simple: they worry the world will soon see what you already know, that their judgment was flawed, their perception was shallow, and their underestimation of you was not just a mistake, it was their downfall. And now, as you stand on the edge of a life-changing elevation, every part of their being trembles at the thought of what you're about to achieve next. My beloved child, the truth that frightens them the most is not your success, it's the speed of your transformation. They thought they had time. They thought they could keep you boxed into the version they created in their mind. But destiny doesn't wait for approval, and your rise came like a sunrise that refuses to be blocked by curtains. Every day, your aura expands just a little more, and every little shift hits them like a warning they can't mute. Because now, even the universe is whispering your name in places they never imagined you would reach, and each whisper reminds them of their failure to recognize your worth. And while you move forward with quiet determination, they are moving backward with growing fear. Their confidence is eroding piece by piece, because everywhere they go, someone mentions you. Someone praises you. Someone highlights a strength they once ignored. They hear things like, "That person has changed." Something big is coming for them, and every sentence feels like a countdown they can't control. But the real shock? People who once favored them are now shifting toward you, drawn to your energy, your authenticity, your resilience. That shift alone has created a wave of panic inside them, because it proves your rise isn't imagination, it's impact. But there's a deeper layer to this fear, one they'll never admit out loud. They are scared because your growth exposes their own stagnation. Your evolution highlights everything they refuse to improve about themselves. They see you breaking limits they didn't even dare to challenge. They watch you grow into a version of yourself that threatens the narrative they built to feel superior. And now, they're terrified that people will realize the truth. You were never beneath them, they were simply standing on borrowed arrogance. And now that your light is rising, their shadow has nowhere left to hide. And then comes the part they fear the most, the revelation that the universe is aligning people, chances, and breakthroughs in your favor. Behind your journey, there is movement they can't see. Someone influential is noticing you. An opportunity is circling your name. A door is preparing to open in a way even you did not expect. This invisible alignment terrifies them because they feel the shift before they understand it. They sense that your life is about to take a direction that leaves them behind, not slowly, but instantly. A leap so significant that the distance between who they think you are and who you are becoming becomes impossible to measure. And as destiny moves you forward, their fear becomes a mirror they can't escape. They start replaying every moment they doubted you, every time they mocked your potential, every time they spoke your name with arrogance instead of respect. They realize now that the future they thought belonged to them is slipping through their fingers, while yours expands with every breath you take. And the haunting truth that keeps them awake at night is this: they didn't lose to you, they lost to their own underestimation. They lost because they couldn't see what the universe already knew. Your rise was inevitable, your strength was real, and your story was always meant to outshine every shadow cast upon your path. My beloved child, something extraordinary is unfolding around you, something so powerful that the person who underestimated you now feels surrounded by a fear they can't explain. They sense your rise not through your words, but through the silent force of your presence. Every move you make, every step you take, carries a vibration they cannot ignore. It's as if the universe itself has placed a spotlight over your destiny, revealing a truth they hoped would remain hidden. You were never meant to stay small. And now that your light is rising, their shadow has nowhere left to hide. They feel exposed, uncomfortable, and terrified of the future that is pulling you forward. And what truly shakes them is how many eyes are turning toward you at this very moment. People they never expected are watching your journey, admiring your resilience, questioning how you rose from the ashes with a grace that seems almost unreal. Your silence has become a mystery. Your growth, a revelation. Your spirit, a challenge they never prepared for. They see doors opening for you, quietly, unexpectedly, beautifully. They see opportunities aligning in ways that defy logic. And each new blessing makes their fear deepen because it reminds them that your rise didn't need their permission, approval, or support. You became powerful all on your own. But here comes the twist that magnifies their fear: someone in their circle has started speaking highly of you. This person has seen something in you, something rare, something extraordinary, and they're telling others about your strength. They're telling people, you underestimated them. They're not ordinary. They're chosen. These words echo in places you don't even know exist. And when those whispers reach the one who doubted you, it shakes their core. Because now they know they're no longer the only one watching you, you have an entire unseen audience witnessing your transformation. And the one who underestimated you feels the pressure of being exposed as the person who misjudged someone destined to rise. Now, as your path expands, the universe places a moment before them that they never wanted to face. They look at you and realize that your glow is not temporary, it's accelerating. They see the shift in your confidence. They see the calm in your aura. They sense the unstoppable change in your momentum. And this terrifies them because it means the version of you they thought they understood no longer exists. You've stepped into a realm of strength where their assumptions and judgments hold no weight. You are rewriting your story, and every chapter you create pulls you farther away from the limitations they tried to place on your name. And now, as destiny forms your next phase, their fear reaches its peak. Because deep inside, they finally understand what the universe knew all along. You were never the underdog. You were never the weak link. You were never the person they imagined in their shallow perspective. You were a rising force waiting for the right moment to unfold. And now that your moment has arrived, they're terrified to see where your path leads next. They fear your success. They fear your transformation. They fear the future you are stepping into. But most of all, they fear that one day the world will clearly see what they refuse to acknowledge. That underestimating you wasn't just a mistake, it was the moment their own downfall began. My beloved child, destiny is tightening its grip around your story in a way that even the universe pauses to witness. And the person who once underestimated you? They now stand frozen between regret and fear, unsure which emotion is crushing them more. Because every single day, your glow grows a little brighter, your presence grows a little stronger, and your silence becomes more powerful than anything you ever said in the past. They feel this shift like a warning running down their spine, reminding them that your rise is no longer a possibility, it's a certainty. Something unstoppable. Something divinely timed. Something they cannot outrun anymore. What terrifies them most is the part they didn't see coming. The world is beginning to talk about you with a kind of respect they never believed you would earn. Your name is spoken differently now, softer, but heavier, as if people finally understand the weight of your journey. You have become someone whose resilience inspires others, whose strength intimidates those who once doubted you, and whose transformation cannot be ignored. Even people who barely knew you are sensing your shift, drawn toward your energy as if guided by something higher. And the one who underestimated you feels this pull happening around them, and it shakes them because they realize, they are losing control of the narrative they tried to write about you. Now, something even deeper begins to unfold, something destiny has been preparing for a long time. A person from your past, someone they always relied on to stay on their side, is secretly beginning to admire you. This person has watched you rise with a kind of grace that stuns them. And now, without telling anyone, they have started defending you. They've started correcting lies spoken about you. They've started saying things like, you don't know who they're becoming, and, their power is just starting. These words reach the ears of the one who doubted you, and suddenly their chest feels tight. Because this is the moment they realize your influence is spreading in ways they cannot track or block. But destiny isn't done yet. The universe is setting up a moment. Quiet, subtle, but life-changing, where a door is going to open for you. A door they never expected you to reach. A door that leads to a place they secretly prayed you would never stand. And the closer this moment comes, the more they panic. They check your updates. They ask subtle questions. They pretend not to care, but every tiny sign of your elevation makes them tremble. They fear you'll outgrow them. They fear you'll surpass them. But most painfully, they fear the world will soon realize the truth that they tried to bury, that you were always the stronger one. You simply hadn't awakened yet. And here lies the revelation that crushes their ego completely: your transformation has nothing to do with proving them wrong. You are rising because the universe has chosen this exact moment to lift you into your purpose. You are aligned, protected, guided, and accelerating. And they can feel this. They feel your power without you showing it. They feel your future without you speaking it. They feel your destiny without you revealing it. And now, the fear that consumes them is not just about your strength, it's about their own insignificance in the story you are stepping into. Because deep inside, they know something they will never say out loud: they didn't lose sight of who you were, they never had the vision to see who you were becoming. My beloved child, the universe is now revealing a truth so powerful that the one who underestimated you feels it like a storm gathering behind their back. They don't know when it started, but suddenly every path they walk feels unsteady, every plan they make feels uncertain, and every thought they have leads back to one thing: you. Your rise, your strength, your transformation. It scares them because it feels inevitable, unstoppable, like a destiny that has already been written and now unfolding in front of their eyes. They sense that your breakthrough isn't just coming, it's already here, and the world is beginning to feel its impact. And what shakes them the most is how effortlessly you are rising. You are not shouting. You are not proving. You are not competing. You are simply becoming who you were always meant to be. That calm confidence terrifies them more than any confrontation ever could. Because they remember the old you, the one they dismissed, doubted, or pretended wasn't capable of anything extraordinary. But the person standing in your place now is someone they don't recognize. Someone stronger. Someone wiser. Someone whose presence alone shifts the energy of every room, every conversation, every soul that crosses your path. But destiny has another twist coming. One that will push their fear into full panic. People they trusted, people they believed would always stay on their side, are beginning to admire you silently. Some of them watch your journey in awe. Some discuss your strength privately. Some even compare you to them, and every comparison falls in your favor. They hear things like, "Look at how far they've come," or "You misjudged them," or "Their future is massive." These words strike them deeper than you realize. Because they once spoke with certainty about who you were, but now the world speaks with certainty about who you are becoming. And slowly, an unsettling truth begins to echo inside them: you don't need them at all anymore. This realization stings them because they once believed you would always remain behind, watching them rise. But you flipped the script without warning. Now they're the ones watching you rise, powerless to stop it, unable to hide from the consequences of underestimating someone chosen for a divine elevation. They feel smaller around you. They feel exposed. They feel insecure in ways they never imagined. And that fear becomes a quiet punishment for every moment they ever doubted your worth. But the universe is preparing something even bigger, something that will seal your rise and silence every doubt ever spoken against you. A major shift is coming, a blessing aligning with your name, a breakthrough designed to lift you into a reality far beyond their reach. And they can feel this shift even before it manifests. They sense that your future holds rooms they were never meant to enter, opportunities they will never touch, and heights they will never reach. And as this realization tightens around their heart, they finally admit to themselves, quietly, desperately, but truthfully, that you were never beneath them. You were never behind them. You were simply preparing for a destiny they could never rise to. And now, the fear that consumes them is no longer about losing control, it's about losing their place in a story where you are clearly ascending to a level they cannot follow. Their underestimation didn't stop your rise, it fueled it. Their doubt didn't weaken your spirit, it sharpened it. And now, as destiny lifts you higher, they stand frozen at the edge of their own regret, forced to face the truth they once refused to see. You were never the ordinary one. They were simply too blind to recognize greatness before it awakened. My beloved child, the universe is now placing you in a position so powerful, so divinely aligned, that the person who once underestimated you feels their entire world tilting beneath their feet. They don't show it on their face, but inside, the fear is loud, louder than their pride, louder than their excuses, louder than the lies they once told themselves about you. Because now, every single sign points to one truth: your rise is no longer something they can deny, it has become something they can't escape. And what scares them most is how naturally you are stepping into this new version of yourself. There is no hesitation in your walk anymore. No doubt in your eyes. No weakness in your energy. You move with a quiet certainty that shakes them to their core. Because for the first time, they see a version of you they never believed existed, a version that holds power without shouting, confidence without arrogance, and wisdom that didn't come from luck, it came from battles they never knew you fought. Your growth is not loud, but it is undeniable. And that silence terrifies them because it means you're becoming someone they can no longer predict or control. But something even more unsettling begins happening around them. People they relied upon are slowly distancing themselves, not out of disloyalty, but out of admiration for you. These people are noticing your glow. They're noticing your transformation. They're noticing the destiny shaping itself around your steps. And quietly, they're shifting their respect toward you. They speak your name with a tone that holds weight, with a tone that carries admiration, with a tone that makes the one who underestimated you feel smaller every time your name is mentioned. They hear things like, "That person is going far," or "You really misjudged them," or "They're rising in a way nobody expected." And each sentence hits them like a truth they were never prepared to confront. Now, the universe brings forth a moment they have dreaded for a long time. Your confidence is beginning to overshadow their ego. People look at you differently now. They see strength. They see clarity. They see purpose. And when they look at the one who underestimated you, all they see is the insecurity that can no longer hide behind excuses. You have become the proof that their judgment was flawed. That their arrogance was misplaced. that their assumptions were built on sand. And the more you rise, the more their foundation crumbles under the weight of their own miscalculation. And then destiny delivers the blow they feared the most: you are becoming someone other people look up to. Someone people talk about with respect. Someone who inspires without trying. Your journey has become a story others follow, a transformation others admire, a glow others want to understand. And the person who doubted you watches all of this unfold with a feeling they never expected. Helplessness. Because they realize now that they didn't just underestimate you, they underestimated the divine force that stood behind you. They underestimated the timing of the universe. They underestimated the strength you were destined to rise into. But the final truth, the one that breaks their pride entirely, is this: you are stepping into a future they will never reach. A future where your name holds weight, your presence carries power, and your path leads into heights they cannot imagine. They feel themselves becoming a footnote in a story they once believed they controlled. And now, as destiny pulls you forward, they stand behind, watching, regretting, fearing, because they know the universe has chosen you for a rise they were never prepared to witness.